Welcome to What Will You Survive, the greatest show taking current events and relating them to survival situations. I'm your host, Michael Martin, and this is part 4 of our 4-part series. Today we're talking about food. We live in a world of just-in-time deliveries. Our local grocers are not able to sustain communities if the system goes down. If one link gets removed from the chain, the entire system can collapse. With that said, it's imperative that you store enough food for you and your family, so in the event a crisis hits, you're not instantly injected into a dire situation. Some of you may heed my call, others may not. For those of you who don't, think of yourselves as prime experiments for natural selection. For those of you who do, congrats. You've officially decided to actively give yourself a fighting chance. When getting ready to store food, the first thing you need to figure out is who you're storing food for. Do you plan on your place being a holdout for extended family? Do you have a spouse and kids? Are you planning on going solo, even though you have a spouse and kids? If you're gonna plan properly, the first order of business is getting a head count. Whatever your number, plan on storing a little extra for trade or charity, depending on what you see fit. My rule is about 10 to 15% extra of whatever your final number is. If you plan on having extended family and friends, I recommend talking to them and getting them to leave some food with you. It gives them less to bring when they bug out, and it's easier on your wallet. If they don't want to contribute, well, you should assess whether or not you actually want them to stay with you. The next thing to think about is what kind of food you should store. A lot of people don't put a lot of thought into this, but we throw a lot of food out. Most food we buy at the store is meant to be consumed now, not 10 years from now. The good news is you can store almost all the foods you love and have them last a long time. It requires a little work, but the end result is great. What you need to do is learn to can your own food. You'll need 2 canners. A pressure canner for meats and such, and a water bath canner for fruits and veggies. Let's say you made a big pot of chili last weekend and you don't want it to go bad. You can can it and savor your world's greatest chili after everything goes to hell. Store foods to match your palate. Make your eating situation as pleasant as possible. Good food in a crisis is a morale booster. The mental fatigue you'll be experiencing shouldn't be made worse by bad food. The idea is to survive the crisis, not kill each other during it. During the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, go watch people whose lives were just upended light up when some Good Samaritan hands them a plate of barbecue. Remember, the only food you should worry about storing is the food you like. Now, how much of this delicious food you should store is a basic numbers game. The FDA uses the 2,000 calorie average to base daily value percentages on. In crisis mode, however, your body is going to expend a lot more than 2,000 calories. To be safe, plan on 2,500 calories for each head. FEMA says every household should have enough food and supplies to last 3 days. But come on, 3 days? That's a good scenario. What if your situation requires you to hold on for months? I recommend everybody have a month worth of food at a minimum. A year would be the best scenario. So let's do the math. A family of 4 at 2,500 calories a day is 10,000 calories. If you follow FEMA guidelines, you'd need 30,000 calories. If you follow my guidelines, you're talking about 300,000 calories, and in a year, you're looking at 3,650,000 calories. Do yourself a favor. When this video is over and you're bored, go through the pantry and fridge and see how long you could last. Could you meet FEMA's guidelines? Could you meet mine? If you can meet either of those, now look at the expiration dates. All food has a shelf life. The great news is we always have to eat. Order your food by expiration date so your older food goes first, and you replenish what you consume with new stuff. If you splurge on a freeze dryer, you're extending your shelf life to about 25 years. They're pretty pricey up front, but will pay for themselves many times over in the long run. The average American spends about $150 a week on food. That's roughly $7,200 per year. A lower end freeze dryer costs about $2,500. So if you were to get one of these and preserve a year's worth of food, and you had to use that food, it would have paid for itself 3 times over. Canning is even cheaper, so make sure you shop with shelf life in mind. Speaking of shopping, where are the best places to go and get the stuff? Well, if you're looking for canned and packaged foods, hit up your local grocer on a sale day and buy a little bit here and there. It won't break the bank, and you can build up a decent supply quickly. If you're looking for food preserving equipment, you can find most of it at your major local retailers, or you can visit the website at www.whatwillyousurvive.com and check out all the affiliate links. The bottom line is we all gotta eat, and we tend not to think about where the next meal comes from until we're ready to eat it. In addition to the food preservation stuff, I recommend buying seeds and learning to grow food. The ability to produce food in a time when people need it is gonna put you light years ahead of the rest of the schmucks. And we sell seeds on the site too. So thanks again, good night, and remember, if you have pets, save food for them too. Be safe, keep planning, and remember, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. Thank you for watching. I believe that's it.